What is overpopulation? Overpopulation is when there is an excessive population in a given area to the point of overcrowding, depletion of natural resources, or environmental deterioration. Why is it a problem? If a population becomes too dense for its environment, it may be stripped of its resources at a rate which cannot be sustainably reproduced by the environment. An example of this is overfarming land by not resting the soil, stripping it of its mineral content. Poor quality soil results in depleted crops, and ultimately the quality of life for the inhabitants of that environment decreases as they can no longer feed themselves. India is currently experiencing a multitude of serious social issues due to a major overpopulation crisis. India's population is at 1.2 billion, which is the second largest population in the world. The population is expanding so rapidly that by 2050 it is predicted to increase by 400 million people to reach a staggering 1.6 billion individuals. This represents a population growth which is simply not sustainable for the current resources that India has at its disposal. Of particular concern is the inability to produce enough food for this unsustainable population growth. Much of the country suffers with famine and poverty, with reports showing that in 2012, 17.5% of the population remained undernourished. Statistics continue to show that India is not producing enough grain for all of its people to be fed. This overpopulation crisis has only been worsened by an inefficient food production system. Farmers are implementing poor agricultural methods due to a lack of education. They are also under immense financial pressure due to insufficient financial support, with many farmers acquiring excessive debts that they cannot repay. Unfortunately, this has led to a significant amount of farmers committing suicide each year, further damaging food production. Finally, the transportation of produce is not effective in transferring food from rural areas to where it is needed. Produce from rural areas is being transported on slow and hot journeys to retail businesses hundreds of kilometres away, and because of poor conditions, 30 to 40% of the produce is rotting prior to arriving at the target destination. So what can be done? With education, farmers would know how to farm more efficiently, and financial assistance would allow farmers to buy or rent new equipment so that they could earn more money to pay off their debts. Technological advances such as refrigerated packing would be hugely beneficial and certainly increase the effectiveness of the agricultural industry in India. Refrigeration has been proven all around the world to decrease the amount of waste significantly, and this would certainly contribute to a more sustainable India. The transportation of produce could also be improved by building higher quality roads to reduce the number of crashes and increase the speed at which food could be transported. India's unsustainable population growth and the difficulties with their food production are not easily solved issues. These are just a few of the proposed actions that India could take to help relieve this crisis and support a more sustainable future.